Have you ever found yourself staring at your screen late at night, your eyes burning, a stack of work piled high, and you just think, is any of this even worth it? You're exhausted, overwhelmed, and the passion you once had feels like a distant memory. We've all been told that burnout is the price you pay for ambition, that it's just a symptom of working too hard. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if the real cause of burnout has nothing to do with how many hours you clock in? Stick around, because today we're going to uncover the hidden pattern behind why you're feeling so drained, and it's going to change the way you think about work, passion, and your own well-being forever. Let's get one thing straight right away. Hard work, by itself, is not the enemy. Think about a time you were completely absorbed in a project you loved. Maybe you were building something with your hands, learning a new skill, or working towards a goal that truly mattered to you. Hours probably flew by, and even though you were working hard, you felt energized, alive, and deeply fulfilled. That's because when our work is aligned with our values and gives us a sense of purpose, it fuels us instead of draining us. The problem isn't the effort, it's the context in which that effort is spent. Imagine a marathon runner. They train for months, pushing their body to its absolute limits. It's incredibly hard work, but they do it because they have a clear goal, they see their progress, and crossing that finish line brings an immense sense of accomplishment. Now, imagine that same runner is forced to run on a treadmill, in a windowless room, with the distance display broken, for an unknown amount of time. The physical effort is the same, but the experience is completely different. One is fulfilling, the other is a recipe for despair. That's the difference between meaningful hard work and the kind that leads to burnout. It's not about avoiding effort, it's about making sure our effort counts for something we believe in. So, if it's not just about long hours, what is the real culprit? The burnout pattern that most of us completely miss is the chronic, grinding gap between our expectations and our reality. It's a persistent mismatch that slowly erodes our energy and spirit. This isn't just about expecting a promotion and not getting it. It's deeper than that. It's a fundamental disconnect in one of three key areas. First, a mismatch in values. This happens when you're forced to do work that conflicts with your personal principles. Maybe your company prioritizes profit over ethics, or your team's culture is cutthroat when you value collaboration. Every day you go to work, you're making a tiny compromise with yourself, and over time, these compromises accumulate into a heavy burden. Second, a lack of control or autonomy. We all have a deep-seated need to feel like we're in the driver's seat of our own lives. When you're micromanaged, when your creative input is constantly ignored, or when you have no say in the decisions that affect your work, you start to feel helpless. This feeling of powerlessness is a massive energy drain. And third, insufficient reward. Now, when I say reward, I'm not just talking about your paycheck, although that's part of it. The reward is also about recognition, appreciation, and seeing the positive impact of your work. If you pour your heart and soul into a project and it is met with silence or indifference, it feels like shouting into a void. You start to wonder, why am I even trying so hard? This gap, between the values you hold and the ones you must practice, between the control you expect and the control you have, between the recognition you deserve and the one you receive, this is the hidden architecture of burnout. Let's make this real with a couple of examples you might recognize. First, meet the passionate professional. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is a graphic designer who absolutely loves her craft. She lives for creating beautiful, effective designs. She joins her dream company, excited to contribute. But soon, the reality sets in. The company culture is toxic. Great ideas are shot down not because they're bad, but because of office politics. Her manager constantly changes the project brief at the last minute, forcing her to scrap hours of work. She has to attend endless, pointless meetings that eat into her creative time. Sarah is still working hard, maybe even harder than before, but her passion is being suffocated by bureaucracy and a negative environment. She loves the what, the design work, but the how and who of her job are burning her out. Her values of creativity and collaboration are clashing with a reality of politics and inefficiency. Her control over her own creative process is constantly being undermined. She's not burning out from overwork, she's burning out from heartbreak. Now, let's consider the dedicated student. Let's call him Alex. Alex is genuinely fascinated by history. He loves diving into ancient texts, understanding the rise and fall of civilizations, and connecting past events to the present day. He enrolls in a prestigious university, eager to learn from the best. But the academic environment isn't what he expected. The focus isn't on deep understanding, but on memorizing facts for exams. The pressure to get perfect grades is immense, turning learning into a high-stakes competition rather than a journey of discovery. Classmates who should be intellectual peers feel more like rivals. His professors are so busy with research that they have little time for meaningful mentorship. Alex is studying harder than ever, pulling all-nighters in the library. But the joy of learning is gone. It's been replaced by anxiety and a constant fear of failure. He expected an environment of intellectual curiosity and support, but his reality is one of cutthroat competition and grade chasing. The gap between his expectation of what education should be and the reality of what it is has become a source of profound exhaustion. He isn't tired of learning, he's tired of the system. So what do we do? How do we break this destructive pattern? It starts with recognizing it for what it is. Burnout isn't a personal failing or a sign of weakness. It's a sign that there's a serious disconnect between you and your environment. The first step is to stop blaming yourself for feeling exhausted and start examining the gaps. Where is the mismatch in your life? Is it a clash of values? A lack of control? A deficit of recognition and reward? Once you identify the specific gaps, you can begin the work of closing them. This doesn't always mean you have to quit your job or drop out of school tomorrow. Sometimes, it's about re-evaluating your expectations. Are they realistic? Are they truly your own? Or are they ones society has placed on you? And most importantly, it's about realigning your actions with your core values. This might mean setting new boundaries at work, like saying no to extra projects that don't serve your goals. It could mean actively seeking out a community that shares your values, or finding ways to carve out a small pocket of autonomy in your daily tasks. The path to recovery isn't about working less. It is about working smarter and living in a way that is more aligned with who you truly are. It is about bridging that gap between the life you're reliving and the one that actually lights you up. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on living a more intentional and fulfilling life. Let me know in the comments below, have you ever experienced burnout from one of these hidden gaps? I'd love to hear your story. See you in the next one.